In the aftermath of a TopView double-decker tour bus running a red light and slamming into an MTA bus, sending 32 people to the hospital, some are reevaluating their willingness to ride. For example, Lisa McCaffrey, who lives in the neighborhood, told us she occasionally goes on.
When friends and family are visiting as tourists, I've always assumed that they're safe.
But regulating the bus companies has historically fallen into a gray area caught between federal, state, and local laws. They are not subject to some of the normal safety standards other buses are.
The tour bus companies kind of operate behind a veil of secrecy, and many of the tourists don't know what they're getting into.
A 2017 report by Manhattan State Senator Brad Hoylman-Siegel found their operators do not need background checks and are not subject to driving tests nor physical exams every 2 years like other bus drivers. They are not prohibited from using drugs and alcohol within 6 hours of driving tourists, and there's no ban on sex offenders. The companies themselves are not subject to state shutdown orders for repeated safety concerns. They do not carry large $500,000 personal injury policies either. And the sightseeing companies are not required to report to the state who the drivers are or keep fares at a reasonable rate.
Oh, I didn't know any of that. So yes, so definitely they need to put some more regulations in place.
Hoylman says even the way these buses are made is largely unregulated.
They're essentially welded together from spare parts of other buses.
We scoured TopView's website, and the only mentions of safety were buried in the terms and conditions. Passengers are required to remain seated, and the company says it takes no responsibility for injuries or losses or really anything else. But not every New Yorker is convinced more regulation would make the difference.
I see our regular city buses driving much more recklessly than the tour buses. They go by nice and slow usually.
We did reach out to TopView for comment, but have yet to hear back. In Gramercy Park, Henry Rossoff, Pix 11 News.